You're on GLP-1, feeling good, making progress, watching the scale move in the right direction. But what if I told you that something as small as your choice of sweetener could be working against you? I see this question come up all the time. Are artificial sweeteners okay on GLP-1? Some people swear they help curb cravings, while others say they completely stall weight loss. And the truth? Well, it's a little more complicated than you might think. If you've been dealing with stubborn cravings, bloating, and that frustrating weight loss plateau, this might be something you need to hear. Hey everyone, welcome back to Nene on GLP-1, where we talk about all things GLP-1, weight loss, and everything in between. If you've been enjoying these deep dives, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And before we get into the details, I've put together a free guide called The Truth About Artificial Sweeteners and GLP-1. It's packed with everything you need to make the best choices for your journey. So be sure to check that out in the description below. So let's talk about why this even matters. Artificial sweeteners are everywhere. They are marketed as the perfect alternative to sugar. Low calorie, zero impact on blood sugar, a guilt-free way to satisfy your sweet tooth. Sounds like a no-brainer, right? But here's the thing. When you're on GLP-1, your body processes food differently, and artificial sweeteners might not be behaving the way you expect. Some research suggests that they can actually increase cravings, affect gut health, and even slow down weight loss. And this is where it gets really interesting. Some studies show that artificial sweeteners can actually confuse your brain and metabolism. Your body expects calories when it tastes sweetness, but when these calories never show up, your system gets thrown up. That confusion can lead to increased fat storage and stronger cravings. In fact, a recent study found that people who regularly consume artificial sweeteners were actually more likely to gain weight over time, even though they weren't eating real sugar. If you've ever had a diet soda and still found yourself reaching for something sweet afterwards, that's not a coincidence. Artificial sweeteners trigger the same reward pathways in your brain as sugar, but they don't actually satisfy hunger. That could be why even after cutting out regular sugar, you still find yourself craving high carb, high sugar foods. And if you're struggling with those late night snack attacks or that constant need for something sweet, your so-called sugar-free drinks and protein bars might be playing a bigger role than you might realize. I actually have a separate video all about how to manage late night snacking on GLP-1, so be sure to check that out if it's something you've been struggling with. But it's not just about cravings. GLP-1 already slows down digestion, and artificial sweeteners can add another layer of complexity. Some research suggests that sweeteners like sucralose and aspartame can disrupt gut bacteria, leading to bloating, inflammation, and even increased insulin resistance. And if your gut health isn't in check, that can slow down weight loss and make side effects like nausea and bloating even worse. Now, before you start throwing out everything sugar-free, not all sweeteners are created equal. Some are definitely worse than others when it comes to GLP-1 and weight loss. There are some sweeteners that have been linked to increased sugar and metabolic issues, some that may cause gut disruptions, and others can actually trigger cravings instead of reducing them. But there are also better sweeteners that don't spike insulin, throw off your gut bacteria, or won't leave you wanting more sugar later. So if you're using sweeteners in your coffee, protein shakes, or snacks, making a small swap could make a big difference. But does this mean you have to completely cut out artificial sweeteners to succeed on GLP-1? Not necessarily. Some people tolerate them just fine, while others see a huge difference when they eliminate them. If you've hit a plateau, been struggling with cravings, or noticed more bloating and discomfort, it might be worth cutting them out for a couple of weeks just to see how you would feel. This journey is all about figuring out what works for you, and sometimes the smallest changes can lead to the biggest breakthroughs. So let me know in the comments if you've noticed whether artificial sweeteners affect your progress. Before I wrap up, I just want to say this. It isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Every small choice you make adds up, and the fact that you're here learning and making informed decisions, that's already a win. I'll keep sharing everything I've learned, from personal experiences to deep dive research, so that we can keep growing together. And if you're looking for more insights, check out my video on eating for weight loss on GLP-1. If today's video was helpful, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.